Hey guys, it's Christian here. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that not a lot of people know about, but in my opinion should be more talked about because everyone knows like you have to track your financials, right? Everyone who has money or has a job probably like checks how much money they're spending, how much money they're making, how much they're saving, and how much they're investing, right? A lot of people track these things. They know where the money goes to, right? It goes to this bill, to this subscription, to this fee, right? People are aware of where their money goes to, but not a lot of people are aware where their time, energy, focus, and attention goes to, right? So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So this video is going to be talking about time, energy, focus, and attention, and how you can save these things and track these things so you can have more output and accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish faster, right? So let's talk about time first, because in my opinion, time is probably like the most important one alongside with money, and it's probably one of the ones that people misuse the most. So with time, it's kind of a finite source, so it's not something that you can infinitely get time, right? Eventually, months are gonna pass, years are gonna pass, you're not gonna be as young, your life's gonna end, right? So your time is finite, right? So your time can't be wasted, and you can't be trading your time or just wasting your time or giving your time away to people or to things that are not important to you or don't deserve your time, right? So time is one of those things that people kind of like lose perspective on it, right? Let's say, for example, a stranger asked you for $1,000. You would probably say no, but a lot of people give their time to strangers, right? A stranger sometimes asks like, hey, I need this, or can you do this, right? And they'll go ahead and give them 30 minutes of their time, or an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, right? And you can't do that, because those 4 hours that you give away to someone who, especially someone that doesn't deserve it, you can never get that time back, right? That time that you could have spent working on your goals, you could have spent it on your self-improvement, you could have spent it on other things that you value more than this stranger, right? So you always have to be frugal with your time, because your time is finite, and it's super underrated, like how much time people waste, right? And one of the main ways that people waste their time nowadays in 2025 is their phone, right? So right now, one of the simple things that you can do right now to optimize your time and kind of like stop losing time, right? Because a lot of people, when they track their expenses, they're like, wow, I'm spending too much money on this thing that's not important. I'm gonna stop spending money on this. I'm gonna cancel the subscription. I'm gonna stop paying this fee that I don't need, right? A lot of people, they go ahead and track their credit card balance, their financials, and they cancel all the things that they don't need, right? The things that they spend money on that they don't actually use at all. And you have to do the same, but with your time, right? So one of the easiest ways to do that is go open your phone, look at your screen time, look at the apps that you spend the most time on, and find out which apps you don't need, right? Maybe you work on your phone, maybe you have communications from your job or from your business on your phone. You're gonna need those things, right? But look at all the apps that don't generate you income, that don't help you do anything that you want to do, right? So let's say, for example, you spend 30 minutes a day on TikTok, 1 hour a day on TikTok, but you don't have any like content on TikTok, you don't make money on TikTok, then go ahead and delete TikTok, right? Maybe you spend too much time on Twitter or X, right? Maybe you spend a lot of time on Instagram. And I'm not saying to like reduce your Instagram time to zero, but for example, let's say you're spending 3 hours a day on Instagram, right? You might want to reduce that to 30 minutes or 1 hour at most, right? And what this does, it's going to give you back time, right? Those 3 hours that you used to spend on Instagram, and now it's 30 minutes. You've gained 2 hours and 30 minutes every single day. Now let's talk about the second one. So the second one is energy, right? So every day that you wake up, you get 24 hours, but you also get a certain amount of energy, right? You have more energy the first few hours that you're awake as opposed to the last few hours that you're awake, right? So what you want to do is you want to do the most important task in the early half of the day. Not because it's the most practical or just because it gets things out of the way, but because that's the highest energy that you're going to have in the day, right? So in the daytime, you're not tired, you just woke up, you're alert, you're motivated, you have energy, you have like the time of like the whole day, right? It's the best time to do the most important task, because you're going to have more output, right? Let's say you have to work on this video, you have to work on this landing page, you have to work on this thing for your client. You're going to do better work if you do it in the morning, right? Because you're just going to have more energy, you're going to have more focus, you're going to be able to concentrate more, right? And you're not going to be fatigued mentally or physically. So you're going to be able to finish faster and do higher quality work. So that's another thing you have to do is kind of use your energy the best way possible, right? Because your energy is finite, right? Imagine like a video game where you have an energy bar. Your energy bar at the morning is really high, and over the day it starts to go down and down, right? So you want to do the most difficult and important task when your energy bar is the highest, right? And also you have to take care of your energy, right? Because people are going to try to suck your energy, right? You're going to have people message you like, hey, can you do me this favor? Hey, I need this from you. Hey, can you help me out with this, right? People are going to be calling and demanding your time and energy. And if it's not something that is going to benefit you, if it's not something that's going to help you or like advance your goals, you just have to say no, right? I'm like, sorry bro, I can't help you right now because I'm focused on this video, I'm focused on this business. Maybe some other time when I'm free I can help you, but right now I need to focus. I need to lock in on this video that I'm making, to lock in on this client work that I'm doing right now, and protect your energy, right? And one of the ways that you can protect your energy is, reduce notifications on your phone, reduce distractions in your house, right? Whatever it is that you have, put headphones on, mute your phone, put your phone in a different room, whatever you have to do to protect your energy, right? Because like I said, your energy is finite, so you don't want to waste it with other people, distractions, or other things, right? You want to keep your energy focused and channeled on whatever task you're working on right now. Now, the third thing I want to talk about was the concept of focus. So everyone knows like what discipline is, right? Discipline is like the ability to do work when you don't want to, or to do work when you're tired, or when you feel like skipping the day, right? Everyone knows what discipline is, right? But focus is kind of different, right? Focus, yes, if you're disciplined, you can create focus and you can create work time to do tasks and to be productive. But focus is another thing, but it's separate from that, right? Focus is your ability to concentrate. It's your ability to like pay attention, right? And you have to realize that focus is limited, right? Focus cannot be like permanent, and it can't be like throughout the day, right? If you try to read a book for 16 hours, you're just not going to be able to, right? At the end of those 16 hours, you're just going to be reading slower. You're going to be understanding less. You're not going to like remember what you read. So your focus is finite, right? You have a certain amount of hours that you can do deep work, that you can really concentrate and lock in and pay attention like a lot, right? So focus is finite, and what you want to do is you want to use your focus the best way possible, right? Your focus is going to be higher at the beginning of the day because that's when your energy is higher, and that's also when you're not tired physically or mentally, right? So like I said, your focus is finite. It's going to be higher in the morning. It's going to be higher in the beginning of the task, right? So if you try to read 8 hours, your focus is going to be higher in the first hour than the 8th hour, right? So what you have to do with your focus is you have to like keep your focus on the things that matter, right? Don't focus on, watching this documentary, this Netflix show. Don't focus on reading this news article about like this football team that you're watching or this basketball team, right? Put your focus, which is limited, right, on the things that matter, right? Don't spend your time like reading nonfiction. Don't read Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, right? But use your focus to watch this video, to watch this video course, to read this guide, to read this like whatever thing that you have to read in order to like learn more about your business model. Use your focus the right way, right? Use your focus on things that are actually going to help you on your goals. You're actually going to advance your mission, right? Don't give away your focus to like documentaries, other people's opinions, or like things like that, right? Keep your focus on the thing that matters the most. So like I said, focus is also finite. It kind of correlates with your energy, right? You're gonna have more focus when you have more energy, but also focus is like a separate category. So that's what I wanted to talk about it here. But anyways, the last one we're gonna be talking about is attention. So attention is a little bit different than focus and energy, right? So they're closely related, but attention is different because attention is like limited, right? You're only able to focus on a certain amount of things per day, right? When you try to multitask, yes, you can do two things at once, but you always do both of these things less good than if you had just done one task, right? So attention is limited, right? There's like a certain amount of things that you can think about, that you can spend time doing, you could spend time like reflecting on, right, per day. So what you want to do is not give your attention to like whatever person speaks to you, not to whatever person demands your time or your energy or your focus. Your attention, you have to keep it to yourself, keep it to the things that matter and to the people that matter to you, right? So one of the things that you can do is try to guard your attention, right? Your attention, this is like probably one of the hardest things to do in my opinion, because nowadays with your phone, you have like a lot of temptations. People are going to be, pinging you, like sending you notifications. People are liking your posts. People are commenting your posts. People are sending you memes or like DMing you. People are inviting you out. People are doing all these things, right? And your attention is also limited, right? If you're paying attention to like the party you got invited to on Saturday, you're gonna be thinking about that instead of thinking about this business, thinking about this like landing page you have to build, this video you have to edit, right? So your attention is definitely finite, right? And I know a lot of things are gonna pull you. You also want to have fun. You also want to spend your money. You also want to do all these things, but you have to realize that your attention is finite, right? So let's say, for example, you have like a party on Saturday, but you also have a couple other things going on today, and you also have to do this like task for your client. You also have to make this video, because you're not able to like give your attention to so many things. You could decide, on Saturday I'm gonna go to this party, but I'm not gonna accept any invitations for Sunday or Friday because I don't have the time, attention, energy to go out and socialize 3 days in a row. I'm just gonna socialize on Saturday, and then my attention, Monday through Friday is gonna be on this task right here, and then on Sunday morning again, I'm gonna come back and focus on this task, right? So yes, you display your attention on this like party you're gonna have on Saturday, but you took it back Monday through Friday, and Sunday you decided, okay, my attention for those 6 days is gonna be this task. Instead of like giving your attention to other people, like, hey, I'm gonna hang out with this guy on Wednesday, I'm gonna hang out with this other person on Sunday, I'm gonna do this on Friday, right? Your attention's going like all over the place, and you're thinking about like all these plans that you have and all these people you're gonna meet. You have to like kind of like say no for now and focus on this Saturday thing, and also on this task for your day, right? Next week you can hang out with a different person, you can hang out and do something else differently, right? So realize that you just have like a limited amount of attention. You can't like hang out with 5 people in a week and also work on like 5 things in your business at once. You have a limited amount of attention, right? So you kind of have to space it out, right? It might be this one important task for your business and this one social gathering on Saturday, and that's it, right? Next week you have more attention, you have more headspace, you have more things, right? So that's like another reason why it's kind of a bad idea to start so many side hustles at once, to start so many businesses, because you have a limited amount of attention. So you're not gonna be able to like work on 5 businesses at once, right? Since you only have like such like little attention per week, per day, that's why you're gonna get better results if you just work on one business, because you're gonna improve better, you're gonna be on top of it, you're gonna know the industry, the niche. You're just gonna understand everything better if you just have one business as opposed to having 5, 10, 20 as a beginner, right? So that's another reason why people also give you that piece of advice. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much the video. I want to talk about the importance of time, energy, focus, and attention. Energy, focus, and attention are kind of similar, but there's like slight differences. But I still wanted to discuss them because there's slightly different things that you can grab from this example I gave you, from these concepts I explained to you. But one thing that I want you guys to like really take away from this video is the concept of time, right? Time is the most important of these 4 that I talked about, and it's the one that people like misuse the most, in my opinion. People are out here like giving their time to everyone, basically wasting their time on their phone, watching TikTok videos and losing hours of their life every single day, which compound to like hundreds of hours, even thousands of hours per year that you lose, right? You're literally losing days of your life if you like add them up at the end of the year from like social media and all these things, right? So take care of your time. It's finite. It's one of the most important resources. You don't get more time and you don't get more youth, so always take care of it. Make sure that it's being put to use, and then you're actually being productive with your time, right? So that's one of the things that I just wanted to talk about in this video. It's a different concept, but I feel like it's a concept that more people should think about, and that's why I wanted to make a video about that. But anyways, guys, if you guys like the video, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting videos every single Monday and Friday, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them, and I'll see you guys in the next video.